and it's about the automatic transmission in the new Cascadia. Not sure how to do this. Okay. We are in the options screen of ordering a new Cascadia. Check your engine. Okay, let's see. DD15. Oh, 216. As you can see right here, the automated manual is not standard. It's just another option. I don't know where people are getting this idea that automated manual transmissions are going to take over the world, because they're not. It's just another other option, and it's not really that highly desirable. We're at the custom powertrain. See, it's just another option, and it's something you can easily change just like that. It's not standard. It's just recommended. Automated manual transmissions are probably one of the worst things that ever happened to trucking. They're unsafe. They don't really get you any... Hey James, how you doing? Well, I did have a guest. I know, right? Feel free to chime in. What is your experience? Uh-huh. I have a plethora of pillows. What's going on in your world today? Yeah, it's been this last 4 days has been really hard on me. A lot of rain down here in Texas. Well, that's good. I sure do wish I was up there in Chicago. I'd live there full time, except for I just don't like the winters up there. That's the only thing I ever had against there. I've always been able to make really good money up there. The winter time is just the only thing that keeps me from making it a full-time thing. I can deal with the cost of living. You have any input as to this subject? Of course, you know, I know what you like, but the word of the phrase of today is Kiko. James, watashi wa Nihongo ga hanasemasen. I love learning how to say I don't speak your language in that language. In Russian, it's Нет nayaru ruski. French is anon. Okay, here I am back. I love all the Greek philosophers. Plato, Aristophanes, Aristotle. I like the German philosophers, Nietzsche, Heidegger. Yeah, with lots of tzatziki sauce. I actually made it to the Mad Greeks between Las Vegas and that place is an echo. It's a memory of what it used to be. They don't even have Greek people working there. It's just all Mexicans. And I was highly disappointed. I do want to get back to California pretty soon. Yeah, redneck now from North Carolina. Oh yeah, you gotta have a real lamb gyro hito. I used to go to a place in Manhattan right next to the Queensboro Bridge. It was open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. It was the best place to ever get a hero in. The surroundings of it were really horrible. I mean, drug dealers and yeah. But it did have the best heroes. I used to go there a lot. I'd walk from the where the circus train was parked in Manhattan all the way up there. Are you saving your ashes, you crackhead? I don't look so fat this way. I like it better this way. Looking not so fat. Right here, I look like I weigh about, I weigh like 500 pounds. And I'm Cartman, man. Hey, have you ever been to a place in Summit called El Faro? They've got... I'll go out of my way there when I'm up in that area. If I don't go to my standard go-to Portillo's. And I've actually discovered a new way to order. Hey, have you ever thought about joining the Cigar of the Month Club? Now that you're a rich owner-operator with his own authority. See, I'm really not fat. I don't know how I have a double chin. Maybe it's because I'm laying down. I only weigh like 200 and it's mostly muscle. You still haven't got over that poverty mindset yet, have you? I've had money most of my life, man, and I've always spent it just as quickly as I got it, because I know I'll get it more tomorrow. I've always been very secure in my position in life, because it's like, money's easy to get. It's really not hard to get once you learn how to get it. It's just a mindset more than anything. The last few months, though, I've been putting money aside because I'm getting my own truck here pretty soon. Even if it's just a class 4, and I'll start my ice cream truck business back up, and then probably next spring. Work, man. I've gone like at least 10 years without working time. Worst case scenario, maybe I've had the worst case scenario happen a couple times, and fuck it, I picked up the pieces and I still lived. You know, I like eating out every meal of the day if I can, and then, you know, spend a good $50-$60 on the bar tab, and then go home, man. And I've never been one for just living. I've always thrived. Tomorrow, you know, I only want to save right now because I've never really owned too much equipment. I've worked for a lot of other people in jobs that just made me fabulously wealthy using their equipment, but The only thing I ever found wrong with that, or bad, I'm back to fat god mode here. Yeah, well, here's the thing is about food. It really is about quality, and better food really does help you live longer. Sorry, I don't want to make you look up my nose there. So it really is worth spending more money on better food. The quality of the food just, it processes your system better. If you ever study about microbiology and macrobiology, even on the chemical basis, food is, it's something to enjoy too. The Japanese are heavy drinkers, and yet they have some of the longest lifespans, specifically in Okinawa. But they drink sake, which I learned is actually the Japanese word for alcohol. There's a specific word for rice wine, Hinoshima, which is rice wine. And in Japan, there are thousands of different variants of it, just like we have beer or wine here. Anyhow, I checked out a new freight. Only one thing wrong with it. It didn't have a clutch pedal. Oh, I was about to call my DBL tomorrow morning and say, hey, I want a new truck. Yeah. It helps it slide down the throat. It's really good. I like to go to Japanese restaurants a lot and drink the hot sake. But I'm pretty picky about that too. I saw the new. I wish there was. No, I don't know. Is there a way? Can you put picture your phone on here? Can you show? Nice if you could flash the picture. They have a ladder to get to the top bunk. There's my truck's a mess. Otherwise, I'd show you my refrigerator. There's a lot more open space. Where the refrigerator is right there, it's just open space, and that way you can have a taller refrigerator. There's a lot more storage. Man, the dash is like a spaceship. It's really nice. Yeah, the new Cascadia it is what it is. It is tremendously. It's out of the world. Leather's not an option though. I don't know why. Yeah, I really wish it had real leather in the interior though. I mean, for hundreds of thousands of dollars, you should have real leather, or at least as an option. So what are you guys up to tonight? Johnny Sacco. Of course it should. It has a Park Smart on it. It should be standard too. Really. I just left Dallas. Fuck, I slept in like until noon today. From 10 p.m. last night. What part of Cali you headed to? I'm not fat. See? I don't have fat arms. I really don't have... Yeah, I would like to stay in the South as much as possible too. Nice. I usually get up about anywhere between 5 and 7 a.m. I try to get get up as possible towards 5 a.m. But after about a week, and I only do 10-hour breaks about 4 days a week, and then Saturday I'll sleep in a little bit, and then Sunday I sleep in like fucking crazy, man. Cause I hardly ever take a day off. I run on recaps. I've been running on recaps for almost 3 months now, and I've been out on the road for a little bit over a year. I think I might... Well, actually, I have 2 weeks paid vacation coming up. But I don't want to lose this truck. And I want to situate the vacation time so it's happening when I'm getting paid as much as possible, so that my paid vacation time will be at the highest rate possible. Yeah, I only usually have about 9 hours and 9.5 hours of recap hours, and I get to work every day. It satisfies my inner workaholic and my work ethic. I've never really taken days off. Of course, most of my time, the jobs I do, yeah, right? I had a dedicated route. I was home once a week, and I still slept in the truck. I have king-size double pillow top bed in the house, and I still slept in the truck. Nice. Nice. I wish I could get that kind of miles. It's not that I'm not willing to run it. It's just these bullshit appointments. A lot of times it's like, well, I have to wait till the next day to pick something up, and then it doesn't deliver till the next day. Right, yeah. Jeffrey O used to tell me about the short game a lot when he was at Orange. And he said that a couple times he did 7 50-mile runs a day that paid $10 a mile. You get a lot more exercise climbing in and out of the vehicle. Yeah, man. Especially if you don't know how to work on a truck, or you don't. I met a guy who didn't even know where to put the oil in his truck. He didn't know how to check the oil. He didn't know what the Davco filter was. I'm like, how the fuck did you even get a driver's license? How did the state even give you permission to operate a vehicle and you don't know what the parts of the vehicle are? Yeah. And I think that there's a lot of maybe payola in some places. Maybe a little bit of money under the table, or some places just, right, maybe smaller cities have lesser standards. No, you should know about mechanical things to drive a truck. Drivers know about every aspect of their vehicle down to the last nut and bolt. Should you know torque values? Maybe not. But yeah, you should know mechanical values like steering vectors, engine operation, like basically how, you know, a four cylinder cycle engine performs, and why, what a connecting rod is. You should know the parts. That doesn't make you a mechanic to know those parts. It makes you a good driver. The more you know about your vehicle, the better you can operate it. It gives you a better feel of what's under your ass. I used to hang out, and I actually know quite a few NASCAR drivers, and I used to go to their shops a lot, and they all agree with that. You should know how your vehicle operates. You should know why, what is where. I can't see your. Cummins has always had a really good reputation. When I was scrapping vehicles out, I had a dealer in Georgia, Conyers, Georgia, said that he would pay me high dollar for finding him scrap vehicles and selling him specifically the Cummins engine because they're proof. And he sat down and he told me why. It has to do. They have higher quality materials and they use more of them. They're basically over-engineered. I buy a truck with a Cummins engines any day. I'm actually looking at buying a Freightliner step van, 18-foot bed. It's a P1200 unit with a 6.9 Cummins in it, turbo diesel, 5-speed transmission, and 3.5 rears on it, and make an ice cream truck and just get back in business this summer. The paycheck bullshit, you know. Yeah, the only problem with that PACCAR engine is you can't even buy the software to work on it yourself at home, versus Cummins or Detroit Diesel. You can buy the software and the computer link to put on your laptop and work on it at home. I'd never drive a PACCAR. That's just fucking insane that the proprietary software won't let you to diagnosing your own engine problems. I mean, other than really just being knowledgeable about diesels. Johnny, you know you're actually making the company's payment for them already. You should just go ahead and take the risk, man. You gotta weigh out the risk versus reward. Back to operating my ice cream business, I'll be making like at least $800 to $1,200 a day, and you know, so fuck it, I take some risk. Yeah, owning a truck, you're already paying that. You pay for all that stuff already through your low pay working for somebody else. The profit is going to pay for that. It's a huge mind fuck, this idea. Yeah, right, James, you kind of are already. It's a mind fuck that just doing a little bit of extra paperwork changes the ability. And then most of the people that I knew when I first started getting interested in working in trucking, so don't have an accident. It's pretty easy not to have an accident. When I first started thinking about getting in trucking in 1992, I was working for Ringling Brothers, and I knew a lot of the owner-operators that hauled the stuff that we didn't put on the train. And they said, you don't really ever want to own a truck. Leasing is probably the best idea, and they were all full-service leases. And because they said that basically you really always, for tax purposes, always want to have some type of payment anyways. So it's just really, And by the time you really pay one of these things off, they're about fucking worthless ways. Unless you don't mind putting in 36,000, 400 or 500,000 miles. I mean, that's probably what I would do. What's most of this, like my friends that own Carson and Barnes Circus, they've got all their trucks are from like 1978. And they have a truck that has a huge shop in it, and it follows the show around, and they break. Oh yeah, definitely, James. And at that point, it's all profit, you know. Idea of a warranty. And a warranty is just something to guarantee you see it's going to last long enough. Yeah, real estate's a great investment, man. It really is. That's why I'm going to be buying some land somewhere here pretty soon. I'll put about $20,000 down, about maybe 15, 20 acres somewhere. Yeah, well, you know, it's all about the labor. A rebuild kit really only cost about $3,500 last time I looked one up for a DD16. Yeah, I only really want to own land myself for a place to have an address, in case something happens with my woman. Yeah, they used to call that upside down because you're getting fucked. Now the politically correct term is up underwater. Coming up here, it's either going to be this fall or next spring, where my income potentials are going to be like $20,000 to $50,000 a day, and upwards of $150,000 a day. But I got to get the equipment first. And in about 2 years, I would need about 30 drivers for the operation I'm going to be having. Especially since Ringling Brothers was put down by their greedy Jewish owner, Kenneth Feld. I've always said that about him, and people said you're wrong. And now, everybody I know there is telling me, "Wow, how did you know?" I was like, "Well, because I'm not beholden to the man. I don't believe he saved the circus." I'm a big fan of just buying raw land myself. I want to buy some raw land in Texas, maybe above Houston, because that's a burgeoning area. It's the third fastest growing statistical metropolitan area in the United States. Vegas is played out. Maybe somewhere in California, Newberry, maybe. I saw 5 acres for $15,000. Probably just put a little block house on it and go back to traveling. I can build that real quick, like maybe a couple weeks. Tennessee's real good, but they got really bad civil forfeiture laws. Don't ever travel with any amount of money in Tennessee. I had a friend of mine, she was traveling through Tennessee with her business, and she had $175,000 in petty cash on her to operate her business. And she was going to the next date to work it, and she got pulled over in her fifth wheel camper, and her business pulls in $500,000, $750,000 a weekend. So $175,000 is nothing. And they took her money, and it took her 4 months to get her own money back and then she only got 80% of her own money, and they called that other 20%, it was called some type of fee for them handling the money. My god damn, they take your money and then charge you for handling your money. Yeah, Tennessee's just fucking corrupt as shit, man. I like Tennessee. It's a beautiful place. The cost of living is affordable. You can buy lots of raw land out there. Yeah, then hey James, you ever get to Naperville? That's where I used to live at. I lived in Naperville for 2 years. That LaGrange Park. You like LaGrange Park? Yeah. I drove a truck up there for a while too. US 53 is a good workaround to that area, I think. Or was it 55? 77th Street. Oh yeah? Hinsdale is real nice too. I like Hinsdale. Oak Park, Oak Lawn. Schaumburg is nice. I used to go there for shopping and whatnot a lot. There's a ping pong club in Schaumburg too. I used to work in a trucking company up in Addison. We went to my job in Madison, Wisconsin, and I really hated that every fucking day. And then it was for a flat fee. Fucking stupid. $150 a day, and then I had to pay my own taxes on that shit. No benefits. No respect, man. Every other. My boss was a true fucking asshole. He was never happy. Nobody ever did anything good enough for him. It was a horrible place to work at. Unique Truck Service in Addison, Illinois. Horrible place. On the flip side, they did have brand new equipment. I was in a brand new 2011 Peterbilt 379. I love seeing the desert. I was born in New Mexico. I like to get it there as much as possible, even though I spent the majority of my life on the East Coast. Even past traveling. I like Canada too. I lived in Canada for 3 years. You love the desert, but not your wife? No way, Jose. Where I live at, North Carolina, is kind of like Flagstaff, Arizona. Lots of trees everywhere. Lots of hiking trails. Lots of nature. 5-minute drive from my house. I'm surrounded by wilderness and bears and deers and squirrels, and lots of nice bicycle riding trails. Hell, we even got like lots of nice bicycle riding trails in the city too. Major breweries in town, 76 minor breweries. Yeah, That's where my trailer is at, outside of the city. But I still kind of got a place in the city. City of 90,000 people. I stay where I want to stay at, man. I mean, I got friends all over the world, friends all over the United States. I really never worry about a place to stay. Got a nice little river running through the center of the city. You know, when it gets warm, you got a little raft. You know. Spodioti. Drink wine, Spodioti. Oh, that's two different artists. Robert Johnson. Drinking wine, Spodioti, wine, Spodioti, wine. Tell me, Hank, why do you drink? Why do you blow smoke? Why do you live by them lies? You guys like Robert Cray? Blues, jazz. Man, all this time I've been on this live feed, I could have been playing my saxophone. I could have been tooting my horn in front of this gas station over here. Hey, it's really funny. I asked this guy what was wrong with his truck at the Dallas OC. And the guy working on this truck said the number 7 injector was bad. And the driver let him kept working on his shit. It's like, wait a minute. Trucks don't have 8 cylinders, brother. And you didn't catch that shit? I tell you what, that motherfucker would have been off of my truck a lot quicker than a cat can lick his own ass. No way. What kind of beer are you drinking on, man? You drinking some Goose Island from Chicago? Yeah, that's right. I know Chicago beers too. I won the Brew Walk more than a few times. Over there on the lower south side. Upper south side. Right around the Arts District. No, don't ask me how I made it back home. I was on a bicycle, I know that much. Driving now. Are you a pumpkin pilot? There's my yearly calendar, which I am about to start using again, so I can plan my year out day by day and live my life as I choose, not with somebody else telling me where to be, when to be there. God damn, I hate working for other people. This shit sucks, man. I looked at my tax return for last year. Fucking $28,000. Dude, I can't live off that shit. I mean, yeah, if I stayed in this truck and I didn't have any real home expenses, which I really don't. I paid for half the house that me and my girlfriend own together. And, I did my part. Fuck, I'm used to, I can go somewhere and make $28,000 in fucking a month, man. Just fucking selling balloons. And this is bullshit, man. I waste all my goddamn time every fucking day making so many millions of dollars. I don't know. A lot of money. Sure you can, man. Put $20,000 in the bank's hand and they'll, man. That's one universal thing I've always heard as the truth. You can't save $20,000? Shit. If you've been in trucks for years, I'd hope you save I put $2,000 in the bank every month, no matter what. I think that when I looked at my money from last year, that was because of per diem. I know I made a lot more than that, 'cause my average paychecks were like $800. That's pretty good score, like. Oh, goddamn, that's pretty fucking bad, man. Go buy you a pretty good used truck, man. Go buy you a $40,000 truck and put $20,000 on it. You can pay that shit off in a couple months being an owner-operator. I got to get out of trucking for a little bit. I've been in this truck mostly for 2 years. Saxophone. I ain't got no time to play on my guitar. I ain't got no time to spend with what I call a family. I don't have no time to play my flute. I don't have a piano right now. Hell, I don't even have time to get my balloons straight to go in these restaurants and make extra money. I'm used to going into restaurants and like not only paying for my food check, but walking out with $20 or $30 extra. You know? It's like being in this truck is like going in fucking reverse, working for somebody else. God damn this shit. When I was a teenager, and if I didn't have a car, I used my girlfriend's car. Shit, I pimped that on. By the time I was 20, I probably had 30 different cars. I love driving. Shit, sometimes when I'm at home, or wherever I want to call home at the time, sometimes I'll be driving in a car and like, man, I wish I could just get on this interstate and just keep driving and driving and driving. And it's not necessarily because I'm like not really happy in the situation I'm in. I just want to roll sometimes. Sometimes I want to get to the next episode. When I'm making balloons in Chicago, it's a great thing. I love being there. I've retired 3 times already, sir. And then I run out of money. And I go back to work. Mostly for myself, though. I really... Working for other people is just a fucking pits. And then they take this money out of your paycheck. And they pay they loan the... Yeah. That's nice. But I planned it like that because, you know, I like drinking expensive beer better than I don't fucking care about cars, dude. I got it. Where you at, baby? There she is. There's my sweetheart. I've got a $7,000 bicycle. I don't give a fuck about cars. I haven't had a car since 2013. Yeah, that's pretty fun, man. I like working on cars in general. I used to rebuild cars for a custom builder. I tear a car all the way down to the ground in less than a day. Bagged it, tagged it, label everything up. take the next day off, maybe go to the casino, blow a little steam off. But we shipped mostly all that shit out, really. All the engine rebuilds and whatnot. It's just really tedious. It just gets the shop all full of grease. Yeah, man. When I used to go to hang out in NASCAR shops, I saw lots of that. All the time. Marcus was the first driver I ever met when I was 5 years old. We went to Banjo Matthews. Oh, hold on. I'll let you see it again. There she is. My sweetheart bicycle. Just the hubs alone are worth $1,200. She is the best bicycle I've ever had. My dad had a bicycle that won the Pan Am Games in 1968. Thompson Dragway. Yeah, a racing bicycle, you're not really ever supposed to sit on the seat. You're supposed to be up in the air, pumping away. That's why they're not comfortable. The only time my ass is ever on that seat is when I'm going downhill. I've had it up to about 57 miles per hour on flat ground. Oh my God, I am fat. Oh, I've got a turkey neck. Oh! I wish this was more two-way. I wish we could see the other people like little thumbnails. That would be kind of cool. Hey, James. That's $300. The handlebars are like $600. They're pure carbon fiber. Yeah, when I was a kid, I rode my bicycle everywhere around town. I was a voracious reader. I would ride my bicycle down from downtown, down Patton Avenue, down Cleveland Avenue, a good 6% grade, and I could hit almost 80 miles per hour on my bicycle. And I usually have about 40 or 50 pounds of books, which would be my reading for the night, or sometime the next couple of days. And then I had on the other side, I went up Haywood Road, and that was about a mile and a half at a 6% grade with about 50 pounds of books on my back. That was an everyday thing for me. And then sometimes I'd go riding on the Parkway. I was very competitive. I was a BMX champion when I was a kid. And when I wanted to go see my girlfriend, she was a couple miles away, so until I had a car. I think the car is one of the worst things that ever happened to my life. I felt inadequate without one after I turned 16. I never really needed one. I lived in without a car. I took the bus downtown. Yeah, 10 speed when I was about 8 years old. Oh, it's faster than lightning. My brother was a skateboarder. He was a trick rider for a local college. They sponsored him. He's got like dozens of trophies. He was a a half pipe rider. How big are your feet, Johnny Soko? What are your opinions on the automated manual transmission, sir? Well, now who's here? There's a tear in my beer 'cause I'm crying for you, dear. Oh. Really kind of hard to say how long I worked in on different circuses. Shoot, you know, I was never really one to look at the calendar, my friend. Work. However, the first time I ran away with a circus was in 19 Brothers, and I already knew those people since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. My father was an immigrant. My grandfather was an immigrant. And we knew those people most of our lives somehow or another. I wanted to be a performer, so then I got hookups in other shows, and like, you know, so somebody's cousin taught me how to do high wire, somebody else's cousin or uncle taught me how to be a clown. I worked for Carson and Barnes. I worked for Patty Gaddy Circus. I worked in the offices of Royal American Circus doing marketing. I managed my novelty stands at Ringling Brothers. I did a lot of stuff for a long time. Then I worked for Disney on Ice for a while too. I drove a taxi for 10 years. A lot of times I had 2 or 3 different jobs at the same time. I've done a lot of stuff, man, and if I don't like doing something, I just won't do it because I know how to make money. I can always go lease a taxi somewhere and make good money. Much money. I might have an extravagant lifestyle, but I always keep mad money in case I have to do something else at any time. I would say I probably worked for Ringling Brothers probably about 5 years. Off and on. Sometimes I would just quit just because I wanted to. I wanted to live in a certain place and I'd get tired of working all day long. And I'd live off my savings, and maybe I'd stay there and make balloon animals, or maybe I'd just pull out a map, pull out a dart and look at the map, throw the dart at the wall, at the map, and then that's where I would live at. If you can make it one place, I made it in New York for 6 months on my own. I was 25. I was a bicycle courier. I did pretty good there. I made a good $800 a week riding a bicycle. I mean, fuck. If you can get paid to exercise, what better life can you have? And really, I could get up anytime I wanted to. There was always work for me. If I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning, there'd be loads for me to take. If I got up, make my first phone call. I had a cell phone in 1998. Actually, I had a cell phone in I had my first cell phone in 1986. It was a bag phone. I've almost always had a cell phone. As soon as I thought, when I turned, I had a cell phone in 1985 when I was 15 years old and started another business. I had a business when I was 7 years old. And my parents never knew I had business and I made money. I just kept my money to myself and my secrets to myself. But I had my first cell phone in 1985, and then working as a cycle courier, I had a StarTech phone in 19. Actually, yeah. So I would make a phone call. I'd be at work. I would start off at 98th in Amsterdam, where I lived at in Manhattan. And they would usually, alright, tell me, head on down towards Midtown, and we'll call you. And usually by the time I got halfway there, which was like close to 10 miles away, I've had to pick up. I would go pick up that. By the time I was up the stairs picking up that, my phone was ringing again, and they'd have to take that like to another location 2 or 3 miles away. Yeah, just constant. $4 or $5 at a time, sometimes 10 or 12. I made good money and I didn't have any really expenses other than eating and my place to stay. It was a great life. Yeah. Well, hey guys, I really appreciate you showing up. Maybe this isn't working out. Appreciate you being here for me rambling on about anything and everything. Kiko, watashi wa Nihongo ga hanase masen.